All right, welcome class. We're going to do an example today using a quadratic equation. All right, welcome class. We're going to do an example today using a quadratic equation. It is from the textbook. We're looking at page 428, number 4B. 4B. All right, so you can follow along. You can open your textbook if you have it. If not, you could just write this down. Here's the equation. 1.4x squared minus 3.9 x. Oh, I wrote this wrong. Sorry, guys. Let me back up here. It's 1.4x minus 3.9 x squared equals negative 2.7. Okay, so notice the first thing is that they kind of didn't put it in the order that we're used to, right? So normally we have this in the front, and here's our c over here that we're going to have to bring over. Okay, so let's write it again, except in the form where we want it with ax squared plus bx plus c. So one more time, this time we're just going to adjust some things. So we've got the negative 3.9x squared plus 1.4x plus 2.7. Now with the decimals too, decimals aren't very nice, so what we're going to do, we've got to get rid of those decimals. You think of how many spots there are in here. There's one spot, one spot, one spot. So let's times everything by 10, and that'll clean up all the decimals. It'll take them away. So let's write it underneath. So we've got negative 39 now, x squared plus 14x plus 27. Remember, I didn't have enough room, but on the other side we've got an equals 0 on the back side, right? So if we times 10 by 0, we're still equal to 0, so we're good there. Next, let's write down what is our a, b, and c. Okay, so a would be what? Be the one attached to x squared, whoever that guy is, so it's negative 39. And our b would be what? It's the guy that's attached to the x. In this case it's 14, and then c's the loner. He's the one without anything, so he's out on the end, and that's the 27. Alright, so we got those numbers. Now we want to put them into the quadratic equation. So here we go. It's pretty big. Hopefully we can fit it. We got negative b, which was 14, plus or minus root b squared minus 4ac. Again, I like always putting the a and the c in brackets, just so we don't mess up the sign. And let's just extend this root so it's across the top, and then divided by, what is it, 2 times a. So 2 times negative 39. Perfect. So there's our equation. Now just using mathematics, bed math, we just got to work our way through it. So we're going to clean up under the brackets first. So we still got the negative 14 outside the brackets, or sorry, out in front there. Underneath the root, 14 squared would be 196. I just did that in my head. And negative 4 times negative 39 times 27. Let me think. Yep, 4212. There we go. And then it's still divided by, what was it, 2 times negative 39, and that's what, negative 78. Okay, next step, we want to clean up underneath the root some more, so we're going to do that step next. So let's go ahead, and it would be, oops, got to change, sorry. So it would be 196 plus 4212 would be what, 4408. So we got negative 14 still. Can't forget that guy. Don't forget the plus minus. It's important. That's how we're going to get our 2 roots in the end. And we still got the 44.8 here. Alright, and still divided by negative 78. Okay, now we got to clean this guy up right here. And this is going to give some problems. I suppose because we're doing applied, we could just leave it as a decimal. We're still going to do some calculus, so we're going to actually break that up. So we've got to think of, are there perfect squares that are equal to that? So we're looking at the 4408, and we are factoring it and seeing if there are perfect multiples that are perfect squares. So 100, no, we know that 100 is not. 81 doesn't work, so that's a no-go. And again, what I did is I just simply put these into my calculator and worked my way through it. What are the other perfect squares? We got 8 squared would be 64, and that's a no-go. 7 squared is 49, that's not a go. 36 would be 6 squared. 5 would be 25. Turns out the only one that goes is 4. So 4 is 4408 is divisible by 4. Okay, so we're going to break that into 2. So we're going to take the 4408 and I said we can divide that by 4, so we got root 4 times root and 4408 divided by 4. So let me do that in my head. Carry the 1. Yeah, it's 1102. Okay. So now we can write it one more time because we can clean up the root 4 into just a number 2, and then this we can't simplify anymore, so we're going to keep that the same. So let me write it one more time here. So what are we looking at? We've got negative 14, sorry. Okay, we haven't changed that at all. Plus or minus 2, that's where that root 4 comes in, times 1102 divided by minus 78. Okay, what's our next step? Well, this I'd like to get rid of this 2 right here. And a good way to think about it is just treat this stuff over here as like a variable, as like an x. So this is like 2x, which means if we divided 2x by 2, it would give us x. So we could do the same thing. So 2 root 1102 divided by 2 is simply root 1102. Okay? So now if we divide everything by 2, we've got minus, wrong color here, sorry. Minus 7, because that's 14 divided by 2, plus or minus, just drop the 2 in front of the 2 root 1102. And then on the bottom we had negative 78. 78 divided by 2 is negative 39. Okay, almost done, kids. And so now we want to break this off into 2. One of them with a positive and then one of them with a negative. Okay, so I'm going to do the positive first. So I'm going to rewrite that again. And we've got what? Negative 7 plus 33.2 divided by minus 39. Now where did this 33.2 come from? Well, that is root 1102. Okay. So on the top, that cleans up to, I'm just going to write it down here. So on the top, we've got 26.2 divided by negative 39. And if we do that division, it will give us 26.2 divided by negative 39 equals negative 0.67. Okay, that should be 1 root, hopefully. We'll check with our calculators later. Let's do the other way now. And we had negative 7 minus 33.2 divided by negative 39. Right, do that into our calculator and that'll give us 1.03. So that should be our second root. Okay, so should be our second root. So let's just put our final answer here. And it is the roots are negative 0.067 and give me a second. Oh man, let's trying to move something. 1.03. Good. Next, I'm going to do it on a calculator, and I'll attach the videos together. Good luck, folks. Now for the second part, we're going to plug it into our calculator. First, let's put it in there. So that is y equals, and let's clear whatever we had before. So make sure that's cleared, and let's put it in. So we had negative 3.9, negative 3.9 x squared plus 1.4x, and what was it, plus 2.7. Good. Let's go ahead and graph it, see what it looks like. There we go. And again, if we didn't have the right zoom, a good zoom for these is zoom, and then go down to number, the Z standard, which sets x's and y's both to negative and positive 10. So there it is right there. And now we want to find the x-intercepts, or the zeros, okay? And those should be the exact same thing we got in our answer before, the negative 0.67, and then the 1.3. So let's figure it out. There's several ways of doing it. We're going to use this one, second function trace, and we're going to go down to 0 because we want the zeros. And now notice it says, all right, y1, so that's the right function. That's one we just plugged in. The left bound, well, there's two intercepts. So let's go to the left of the first one. And notice I'm hitting the left, not up and down, just left and right. And now as long as my cursor is to the left side of the 0, that's good. I'm going to hit enter down here. And now the next question, right bound. So let's go to the right side of the calc. There we go. And it's anywhere above the 0. Okay, we'll hit enter again. And it says it's going to take a guess. Well, why not? We'd like you to be more specific, but I guess it's fine. And there it is. So there's our negative 0.67, and that's what we found on paper. Yay, good job, class. Now next, we want to do the same thing. Second function, trace. We want to find the 0, so let's go down to 0. And now we want to go, same question as before, right? So it's the left bound. So this time the left bound, using the right and left arrow keys, we want to go to the left side of the other 0, which is right about there. We're going to hit enter. And now we're going to go, it says what's the right bound, so let's go to the right side. There we go, and hit enter. It's going to take a guess. Yeah, try your best calculator, please. It's just as good as us. And there's our 1.03. 1.03. Yes, success.